Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Fire is finally bringing a fan-favorite OG character back. An OG Chicago Fire character is back, and we cannot wait. The only downside is that it's just for a temporary storyline rather than full-time. Chief Bowden is back. Actually, it's Deputy Commissioner Bowden now. At the end of Season 12, Bowden opted for a promotion, which took him to HQ rather than keep his office at Firehouse 51. When the exit was announced, there was the promise that it wouldn't be forever, and that with Bowden at HQ, it would open the door for his return when the story and schedules allowed. Everything has now aligned. It's just in time as well, considering the grief Chief Pascal is going to face in the coming episodes. TV Line has confirmed that we'll see Bowden back on Wednesday, April 16. If you follow the fans' social media accounts, you'll know that Bowden's name was on the call sheet for episode 18, which matches the date. It suggests that when Chicago Fire comes back on Wednesday, March 26, there won't be any breaks until at least after this episode. Bowden is not the only one making a return to the series. Fans will also see Gary Cole back, who played Commissioner Grissom. He's the one who sends Bowden out to tackle an inquiry into a house fire that collapsed with a firefighter inside. Who is the firefighter? We're hoping that it's not one of Firehouse 51's own. That firehouse is already facing grief after Monica Pascal's fatal accident. It looks like the episode is going to be told a little different than normal. Rather than seeing the call play out in real time, we'll start with the investigation, which is when the call will look back at the events. It will leave us wondering who was involved and exactly what happened as steps happened in the moment. This always leads for some interesting episodes, as we get to see the different points of view of the same situation. After years of speculation, countless fan theories, and the hope of many dedicated viewers, Chicago Fire is finally delivering on what fans have been yearning for: the return of one of its most beloved OG characters. The atmosphere at Firehouse 51 has always been one of camaraderie, grit, and heart, but with this character's return, the station is about to experience a seismic shift. The beloved character in question? None other than Matt Casey, played by Jesse Spencer. After a bittersweet exit at the end of Season 10, Casey made a dramatic departure from Chicago to start a new chapter in Oregon. His decision to leave was a heavy one, especially for his close-knit group of friends and colleagues. The exit left fans heartbroken, as Casey had become the very soul of Firehouse 51, known for his unwavering leadership, sense of loyalty, and deep emotional connection to his team. The Season 11 finale introduced hints that Casey might return, but the real confirmation came through a carefully timed social media post by Spencer himself, teasing his return in an upcoming episode. The announcement set social media ablaze, with fans flooding Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook with excitement and anticipation. Fans speculated endlessly about what Casey's return would mean for Firehouse 51 and its tight-knit family. In the highly anticipated episode, Back to 51, which marks his return, we open on a chilly Chicago morning. The snow is falling lightly, and the station is bustling as usual, with the familiar sounds of boots clacking on the firehouse floor and the sharp commands of Chief Bowden, Eamon Walker, ringing through the station. But something feels different. There's a heightened energy in the air, a sense of anticipation that something big is about to happen. As Truck 81 returns from a call, the crew is caught off guard when the door opens, and in steps a familiar face, Matt Casey. He stands there, looking the same, yet different. The years since his departure are written in the small creases of his face, but his intensity and commitment to his brothers and sisters in arms are unmistakable. His eyes scan the room, and for a moment, everything seems to freeze. Then, the weight of the moment hits, and the team erupts in shock and joy. "Casey, you're back," Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney, says, his voice thick with emotion. Severide, who had always shared a brotherly bond with Casey, is visibly moved. He strides toward him, wrapping him in a bear hug. "This place hasn't been the same without you." The rest of the crew follows suit, with even the usually stoic Chief Bowden offering a heartfelt handshake. It's clear that while time has passed, the bond they share remains as strong as ever. But the question on everyone's mind is, why is Casey back? As the episode unfolds, we learn that Casey's return is not just for sentimental reasons. Firehouse 51 has been facing increasing pressure from the city's fire department. Budget cuts, staffing shortages, and a string of high-risk calls have put the station under stress. With the firehouse being pushed to its limits, Chief Bowden has reached out to his old friend, knowing that Casey's leadership and experience are desperately needed. Casey, always the loyal friend, couldn't resist coming back to help his team. But as the old adage goes, you can never go home again, and Casey's return is not without its challenges. Though the crew welcomes him with open arms, the dynamics have changed. Matt quickly notices the differences: new faces at the station, changes in the way calls are handled, and even in the technology they use. But what stands out the most is the personal growth his friends have experienced. Severide and Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo, have grown closer, with their relationship now a more solidified partnership, both at work and outside the firehouse. And as Casey begins to navigate these changes, it's clear that his return will not just be about fitting back into the old groove, but about discovering his place in this new version of Firehouse 51. One of the most touching moments in the episode is when Casey sits down with Violet Mikami, Hanako Greensmith, and Gallo Alberto Rosend, the younger generation of firefighters who have stepped into big shoes since his departure. Casey offers them guidance, telling them about the lessons he's learned over the years, and his advice to always stay true to what matters most: family, honor, and integrity. He reminds them that despite the risks of the job, the bond they share with each other is their greatest strength. But it's not just the station's inner workings that have changed. Outside, the winds of change have shifted for Casey as well. He's learned a lot about himself during his time away, and his decision to return is also one of reconciliation with his past, with his relationships, and with the very city that made him the firefighter he is today. He opens up to Brett, Kara Kilmer, in a quiet moment, confessing that he's been struggling to find his true purpose since leaving, and that returning to Firehouse 51 feels like the right decision. "You know, it's strange," he admits. "I thought when I left, I'd find something new, something better. But there's no place like this. There's no family like this." Brett, who has always had a soft spot for Casey, gives him a knowing look. "I'm glad you're back." The episode ends with Casey standing outside Firehouse 51 as the sun sets behind him, his familiar silhouette against the backdrop of the station he once called home. It's a moment that speaks volumes about what he's been through and where he's headed. Chicago may be a city full of challenges and heartache, but for Matt Casey, it will always be the place where his journey began, and in many ways the place where his journey will continue. Fans have been waiting for this moment for years, and Chicago Fire has delivered in spades. Casey's return is not just a fan service moment, it's a powerful reminder of the relationships, sacrifices, and bonds that make Firehouse 51 more than just a place of work. It's a home. And with Matt Casey back where he belongs, viewers can rest assured that the heart of the show is beating stronger than ever. The excitement surrounding Casey's return is palpable, with many wondering what role he will play moving forward. Will he stay for good, or is this a temporary fix to a dire situation? Only time will tell, but for now, one thing is certain: Firehouse 51 is a family once again, and it feels like home.